Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a new vlog. So I'm sure many of you guys have maybe recognized some kind of change in the YouTube atmosphere lately. Yesterday, YouTube made some announcements that are going to be affecting who is eligible for monetization on the platform. When you monetize your videos, you're making money off of the ads that are shown on your videos. So some people, if you're not familiar with the whole YouTube atmosphere or like what these things mean, you can make a full-time living off of YouTube if you work really hard and you monetize your videos and you get paid from Google AdSense, and it's a pretty cool program. I believe this program was originally introduced in 2008 or 2007, and at the time it was extremely exclusive. Like, you definitely had to be one of the absolute top YouTubers to even be eligible for monetization. It was extremely selective. There was a lengthy application process, and there was no guarantee that you would be eligible for monetization even if you applied. I've actually been on YouTube making YouTube videos since about 2008 or 2009. Most of those videos are, I'm pretty sure most of those videos are privated. I think the oldest videos that I have that are on YouTube still are from 2010 maybe. But I remember like applying for the partner program way back when it was this huge big application process, and obviously I didn't get in because I wasn't, you know, a somebody. And then in 2010 or 2011, the partner program was opened up to everybody, meaning that if you basically just ticked a couple boxes in the YouTube back end and associated an AdSense account, you could get paid for the ads that are shown on your videos. It's definitely not a ton of money. You're literally talking about halves and quarters of pennies per view. Like, it's really not a lot of money, especially for small YouTubers. But in 2016, I believe, YouTube started to have some issues where really vile content was being uploaded to YouTube. We're talking about like extremist content, we're talking about terrorist content, really like bad stuff, and ads were being played against them. And the advertisers were like, yo, why are our ads being shown next to this beheading video? This is not what we signed up for. This is not something we want associated with our brand, and it's hurting our brand. And so we're just gonna pull all our ad money out from this platform. Because YouTube runs on advertising primarily, that's a huge blow to YouTube. And so that was kind of the first step of the adpocalypse, as people were calling it. A ton of different advertisers started pulling their ad dollars from YouTube. YouTube wasn't getting paid and creators weren't getting paid. And basically ever since then, we've been dealing with a lot of fallout from Adpocalypse Part 1 and Part 2 and Part 3. And in April of 2017, YouTube was like, okay, so how can we do this better? How can we make monetization better on our platform? I have an idea. To be able to monetize on YouTube, you need 10,000 lifetime views on your channel. So what this means is you could have like one viral video go out and surpass 10,000 views and you'd be in like instantly. For some people, it's a little bit more slower growth. Like maybe you have a couple videos that are 1,000 views each. You'd only need 10 of those to surpass this 10,000 lifetime views mark. But in the tail end of 2017, we had even more issues on the platform come up. I don't know how many of you are familiar with ElsaGate, but it became apparent that there was a ton of content that was directed at children that was very disturbing content, very vile, very upsetting content that was being directed and primarily shown to children. And to kind of combat that, YouTube started implementing the whole not advertiser friendly policy. So depending on your thumbnail and the tags that were used and the title, and honestly a whole lot of other stuff that we don't even know about because YouTube hasn't been very clear about what not advertiser friendly is. A lot of like family vloggers were being flagged and completely demonetized. Entire channels were being brought down because they feature children or other potentially disturbing content, even when they were totally clean. It's not good. And then I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Logan Paul situation. To recap, Logan Paul is a ginormous, huge vlogger here on YouTube. He recently traveled to Japan and visited the Japanese suicide forest and inadvertently showed a body, put it in the thumbnail and everything, put it in the vlog, and
in response to this video, there was a ton of backlash, but strangely not from YouTube, which is I think why so many people are so up in arms about that whole situation. YouTube still to this day hasn't really admitted or talked about their role in that video being posted to trending. To combat the backlash from the Logan Paul situation, Google and YouTube pulled him from Google Preferred Advertising, the Google Preferred program. For those of you who don't know what the Google Preferred program is, essentially the top 5% of all creators on YouTube have access to premium and top tier advertising from like the top brands. And the top 5% of YouTube creators are generally deemed to be advertiser friendly, like they're safe. This video that Logan Paul put out obviously wasn't safe. He was pulled from the Google Preferred program because of it. He was also pulled from projects that he was in the works for from YouTube Red, or those projects were put on pause. So last night, January 16th, YouTube implemented even stronger requirements to be able to monetize your videos in the first place. Instead of 10,000 lifetime views, now you need 4,000 hours of watch time over the past year, and you also need 1,000 subscribers to even be able to monetize your platform in the first place. So you essentially have a ton of small creators that won't even have the option to monetize their videos and their content that they spend so much time and money and hours putting in. They won't see a nickel of that back until they reach 4,000 hours of watch time and also 1,000 subscribers, which really, really, really sucks if you are a small creator, and especially if you're a creator that was like so close to getting that 10,000 lifetime view original requirement to be able to monetize. They've kind of switched the goalpost back a little bit more in the hopes that this would weed out the bad actors, as the announcement put it. I will also link the announcement in the description bar below. The entire announcement seems fishy. It seems strange, strengthening our requirements for monetization so spammers, impersonators, and other bad actors can't hurt our ecosystem or take advantage of you while continuing to reward those who make our platform great. So what that says to me is that more than anything else, there are a ton of issues going on behind the scenes that YouTube is trying to prevent poison the ecosystem. And it's YouTube. They're not exactly known for being the most transparent and open platforms in the entire world, so who knows if we can take that statement for face value. But I'm trying to look at this a little bit optimistically. For small creators, it's a total blow. It really sucks to be trying to hit this mark, this goalpost, and then have it be moved even further back. That's a really sucky thing to happen. But on the flip side of things, I do think that this could be beneficial for the future ecosystem of YouTube. It feels like YouTube is going back to its roots a little bit. It feels like YouTube is trying to be more selective with the partners that it accepts to monetize their videos, which is how it originally started in the first place, the partner program. It feels like this will be a really great way to weed out channels that I know you guys have seen before, where somebody will download and re-upload somebody's work to impersonate them, and they'll be racking in all the cash from those ad views that are seen. We've had our videos posted on other channels before, and it sucks, especially because it can be really confusing to a viewer who might not know which channel's the correct channel. This also could be a really great way to weed out the original problem, which was terrorist content and extremist content from being displayed advertising in the first place anyway. Those channels, while they might have gotten views, especially if a news article posted about them, they probably didn't get the subscriber requirement to go along with it. I'm trying to look at this in the most optimistic way that I can, because at the root of it, I do think that this can be good for the YouTube community. I think this can really drive creators who are passionate and driven and want to just focus on creating really good videos. I think this could be a perfect environment for them to flourish in. Because when you take the money aspect out of it, the only people who are going to want to do YouTube are the ones who are passionate about it and are driven and are creative and are wanting to make this community good. That's me knocking on wood, hoping that that's how this goes, but I don't know. We're gonna have to see. It'll be interesting to see how YouTube responds to all of this backlash. They probably won't, let's be honest. It'll be interesting to see how YouTube adapts, and it'll be interesting to see if this solves any of the problems that YouTube was having in the first place, with really bad, huge YouTubers, with really bad, huge content creators, with extremist content, with Elsagate videos, with impersonators, with spam. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. So, final thoughts now that I have had even more time to process it and I am fully caffeinated. Number one, if you are a small creator who this is directly affecting, let this be an even bigger motivator for you to create the best content that you know how to create. Let this be an opportunity to grow and to expand and to get even more deeply integrated in this community and focus 100% on putting out the highest quality content that you know how to do, and maybe even learn how to make it even better. Because for the brand new creators who just started a new channel in the hopes to make a quick buck, they're not gonna be there anymore. In this environment where money isn't a thing anymore, it can propel the very best of the best channels forward. And that is super motivating. Number two, if you are an avid watcher of small YouTubers, show them as much support as possible. Like their videos, comment on their videos, subscribe to them. If they have a Patreon or some kind of fan funding site, give them a couple bucks. Encourage them and show them that they are the reason this community is so good. How do you guys feel about these changes? How is this going to directly affect you, or is it not really going to affect you? What are the potential good and bad things that you see coming out of this announcement? I originally started this video thinking it would just be a part of a regular vlog, but I've been talking for so long that I think it's just going to have to be its own video. Be sure to check out the links that I provided in the description bar below and the links in the pinned comment in the comment section. There you can read the original blog post with this announcement, and I've also included a link to a video straight from the Creator Studio on YouTube where you can kind of listen to the thought process that went into this decision directly from YouTube. A typical normal vlog will be posted tomorrow, Thursday. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.